How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to some more Melee Master Mode. You'll see I do have some fish on wings and also the Influx waiver. And that's because I've already tried to record this episode, but I made a little smooth brain mistake and I accidentally deleted permanently the footage because it was recorded to the wrong folder by accident. And I've tried to recover it, but no luck. Luckily, I didn't get too far. I did fight Empress. I got the Ankh Shield, I grinded a bunch for the fish on wings, but that's about it. So I did some grinding, and I got some new weapons. And the whole idea of the video was going to be, is Influx waiver still better? Because I believe it was before the most recent update, or I guess before 1.4.4. But yeah, Terrablade just looks really, really good here. So yeah, it really sucks that I lost all that footage, but again, I didn't make it too far because a lot of the episode was taken up by grinding. So if there's probably going to be a little bit of a delay between this video and the last one. So that is probably going to be why. That being said, we'll fight Empress, we'll do the boss fight. Now I'd love to test these two on a dummy, but it doesn't really doesn't show the full picture. Because the Influx waiver, the effect doesn't actually activate when you just hit a dummy. Whereas you see the full effectiveness of the Terrablade. So it's not like the most fair test. Alright, so one other thing that I also did that I totally forgot to mention was we're using a hybrid set. We're no longer only using the Shinobi gear. And the reason for that is this set bonus makes 0 sense for a melee only build because it just buffs sentries and effectiveness of that. So since we're not allowing ourselves to use any of that, it doesn't really make sense. So we put the Hallowed Mask on for extra damage and extra defense. Really, really nice. Keeping the shirt, I guess you call it. And then we put on Valhalla Greaves, which gives us quite a bit of melee crit and a speed, of course, and of course defense. So we got good defense there as well. But let's get this out of the way. I did also get the ninja gear, as you can see over on the right. So like I've been busy. I've been very busy. And yeah, I think I've got like a pretty solid loadout going on now. But as you can see, Terrablades has no trouble taking down Empress here. Let's see. So that was about 2k damage. Let's try Influx waiver. Now, one thing you'll probably see right away is how much more difficult it is to actually hit the boss with this. So even if it were to be doing more damage, it is harder to hit and use. But it looks like it's quite a bit less. Like even when we're getting up all of our hits, it seems to just be less damage. And since we're not always getting our hits, it's just less, you know, consistent. So yeah, it doesn't seem like the best, or it doesn't really seem like an upgrade. Which is insane, because this is like, what, post-plant? And Martian Madness stuff is, yeah, it's supposed to be like post-golem, but I usually do it around Fish-On, after Fish-On, because I feel like the drops are at least on par with Fish-On drops, at the very least. So I usually hold off on it, because they're supposed to be really strong. But Terrablade's still just incredibly good here. I think it's not struggling whatsoever. In fact, it's easily our best weapon. So yeah, as you can see, we do have the flare on, because of course we did grind for the, you know, fish on wings, so I was able to get this. That's actually something we could do. Let's try the flare on. Yeah, let's try this out. I want to see, it doesn't have the best reforge, so not the most fair test. But how does this do against Empress here? I guess it's hard to get damage for all the bubbles to connect against something that's so mobile. But when they do, it's about on par with Terrablade. It's just rather hard to do that, is the problem. So yeah, this is also not quite as strong. So yeah, it's insane, man. I don't know, maybe I could like have a better set that favors Influx waiver more so than Terrablade. Because I feel like the melee speed doesn't affect it as much. But I don't know, man. It just seems like easily the best thing here. We could also try this Flying Dragon. See how this does. Definitely worse than the other two, from what I can see here. Yeah, just less damage. Like, nothing can compare to this. It's wild. I don't know. Let me know if you guys think the same way, that this is like super crazy. That this is still so good this late into the game. I don't think Terrablade was like this before, where it was like just your best option until, well, basically Moonlord, right? Probably, I imagine the pillar weapons will beat it out. We'll see though. I don't know. I thought we'd have switched weapons by now, but nah, this is the go-to here. It feels super insane. All right, well, there's 2 Empress kills. Hey, we got Starlight. Okay, that's what I was after, and we got Empress wings. I might just keep godly. I'm starting to think you can't get legendary on this thing. I know I'm just getting extremely unlucky, but wow, this is crazy. It looks amazing. And with the melee speed buffs, wow. This thing just goes. I wonder, let's check the damage on this. I'm hoping it's really good. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Wow. Dude. That's crazy. 4,000? 4,000 DPS? Terrablade up close can deal about, well, almost 4K. Alright, at this point, I think we're just gonna finish off the playthrough because there's not really much else to get. It's just the pillar drops. And since this episode is so short because I lost all the footage, I think we're probably just good to end this off. So I was hoping to get maybe 2 more episodes in, but at this point it doesn't really make sense. They'll both be incredibly short if I try and split it up. So, because of that, yeah, I think we'll just end it. So, for those wondering, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering what is next for the channel and what the plan is after this is completed. And at this point, I'm thinking I'm not going to go straight into another Let's Play. I have been enjoying doing the Let's Play, but it's really hard to keep up with the bigger videos. I figured I'd be able to get more work done than I could on some of our bigger projects with the challenge playthroughs. So instead, I plan to kind of do a hybrid of our challenge playthroughs and our like Let's Plays and things that are just recorded here on YouTube, similar to how I did with the random weapon challenges I did a while back. I guess we can start this while I'm talking about it. So like I was saying, it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid. So I'm going to do, it's going to be like a challenge video, but it'll probably be like 3 parts-ish, roughly, depending on how much content is in each. I'll see what makes the most sense. Wow, this thing does crazy damage. Let's see, up here. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a really fun challenge that I've been wanting to do for a while now. And, oh, I gotta be careful here. I don't want to die to call this. Not not a good idea. So yeah, it'll be fun. I won't say exactly what it is yet. I won't spoil it. But expect that in the somewhat near future. So kind of a hybrid of between a Let's Play and then, you know, your typical challenge videos that I do here on the channel. The idea here is we're just gonna see how do our current weapons compared to the pillar weapons. Because the pillar weapons are the last weapons you get in the playthrough, at least for me. I usually don't play much after killing Moonlord. I, generally speaking, go on to the next thing. So this is like the best of the best here. And we're going to see how the Terrablade, a post-Plantera weapon, fares against them. Because right now, it's still the best thing we have. Starlight's great close up. As you can see, it just shreds things. And it's incredibly satisfying to use. But, yeah, I can't wait to see. One thing I'm curious about is, what do you guys think is the strongest class in the game right now? I feel like after the buffs, melee is a really strong case. I used to always say Ranger, but I don't know. Melee seems like super, super good now. So, like, it was already very solid before, but they just gave even more damage and versatility to a class that's super bulky, which is a huge privilege. Just your class just has a ton of bulk. And you've got ranged options and cool effects on the swords and everything. So beyond just being more fun to play, it just got stronger. So, which is really crazy. So yeah, I'm wondering what you guys think. Do you think melee's the best? Or do you think it's something else? Alright, I want to try this. Hopefully we get it down before we die. Yeah, that's... Oh, we died. Unfortunate. Okay, that was the first death. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Terrablade being this good, though. I don't know if Terrablade's just really good, or if the other weapons need a buff. Because I don't like the fact that all the weapons we're getting... At least to me, it seems like... Well, Starlight maybe is the exception. Close range, this thing would be superior to Terrablade. But that's about it. That's like the only thing we've gotten since getting the Terrablade that has you know, stood a chance against it. It's just so strong. Which, again, is great, because I love using the weapon. But it would be nice to be able to justify using other weapons as well. So, I don't know. I don't think we should necessarily nerf Terrablade. But maybe buff other weapons. Maybe buff Influx Waver and stuff. I'm not sure, though. Maybe Terrablade just is incredibly good compared to every other class. If that's the case, then yeah, maybe a nerf makes sense. But let's go see how it does against pillar weapons. Again, I think this is where the Terrablade falls. If Terrablade's stronger than these weapons, it's not good. Oh, and the other thing, I totally forgot to mention this, but it's relevant now that we're going to be testing out weapons. I asked what was the best reforges for Terrablade, and kind of just in general, like, what's the best reforge? I got a lot of answers from you guys. A lot of very different answers. Some people were just saying, you know, menacing flat out just better, lucky's just better, violence better, you know, all these things. And then I got a lot of hybrids, like, it's technically the most optimal to go a mix between. And that made a lot of sense to me. So that's kind of what we're doing, or what I was doing. I got a lot of menacing, because I saw we were getting a lot of crits. We got a little bit of lucky, and one violent. I think it makes sense to phase out violent as we switch away from Terrablade, because this is kind of the only weapon that really sees a huge, massive benefit. That and the Starlight, of course. So I've been kind of phasing out of that, going into menacing. So that's what I've done. But anyways, let's get to testing these weapons. So average about 13 to 1600-ish. Let's try Solar Eruption. Yeah, so that's just stronger. 3k. Even if we just get a few hits, that's still better. Now this, a big part of it's the debuff, right? So this isn't the most accurate, but we're seeing 2500. Again, that's just much better than Terrablade at a range. So this is good. This is good. We're getting... Terrablade's no longer the best thing to use, so this is good. It took a while. It took a while. But out of the... I will say, out of the, like, melee weapons... Terrablade makes the sense. It makes the most sense for being like the one that just stays super, super strong throughout. So I'm glad it is Terrablade and not something a little more random. But nice. Okay, those are our new weapons. Let's go try them out against some pillar enemies. Oh, one thing we're not factoring in here is the crowd control capabilities. Immediately, I was reminded of that because it is significantly easier to deal with things like this with the Terrablade over really either of these weapons. This is pretty good, but Terrablade does a better job. And this certainly is not what you want to use against pillars. So, yeah, we're not putting it away yet. There we go. Okay, pillar defeated. That's number 2. That is number 2. Super, super strong still. Especially against pillars. Like, this is the go-to weapon here. Makes it so much easier to deal with everything. Okay, I think we are just about done, right? There we go. That should be it. I think this is the fastest way I have of killing this. Seems to be that way. I'm just going to dip here. Despawn those guys. Head on over. Yeah, so I don't like Nebula Pillar. It's so annoying. Easily the most annoying pillar. A lot of people say Solar. I used to agree. I don't anymore. Those... Nebula floaters, I want to say, are so annoying. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. Alright, so I purposely left Stardust for last because I think it's undeniably the easiest to deal with. That's what I normally do. Now, it's also extremely easy to cheese as well. I don't think I'll bother doing this because we've got a very strong loadout. And you can kind of almost cheese them by accident if you just keep these spawns alive. They'll take up all of the enemy spawns. And then all of a sudden, you know, before you know it, it's just Stardust cells you have to deal with. Even if you're not really trying. Like right now, I kind of am. I'm purposely not killing the smaller ones. But it also kind of is just efficient. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a gray area to me. Because we're just fighting the pillars, but... I don't know. Is this cheese? Maybe. Maybe. It's just the best way of doing it, though. Is the way I see it. That's how we're going to justify it. Surely that dies, right? So debuff. There we go. So I'm going to head back and heal. But yeah, this playthrough has been extremely fun. It was very nice to get back into the groove of things. Like I said, I will be taking a break from Let's Plays, though, because I want to have some other stuff to work on. And maybe things that aren't so... I don't know if committal is the right word, but something that I can take a little more time on, and I don't have to stick to a really, really strict schedule. Because I feel like with these types of things, you're expected to really upload super consistently and as often as you can. And because that, or at least I am expecting it, right? These are things that I am kind of putting on myself, but it's hard to get out of the headspace for like a Let's Play. So it's being prioritized, and then I don't get to work on some of my other stuff. So because of that, oh, we should probably buff. Because of that, yeah, I think we're going to focus on some other things moving forward. Now here, I guess Solar Eruptions is probably the best. It's been a while since I've like done this with melee. Usually Vortex Speeder is like my go-to. So I'm not sure what's the best to use here. This seems pretty good though. I do like Daybreak here. And maybe some Eruption when we get close, like that. Seems to be very solid. I'm tempted to try Terrablade. Let's try it. Because I think I can hit both here. Yeah, it's got enough range to where we could hit like a hand and the top eye. Which is really strong. So, I don't mind doing that. I gotta be careful. I might actually die here. Oh, I gotta head down. I should have brought the the slime mount with me. That would have been helpful. Okay, now it's just the core. I'm trying to keep getting distance here. Don't want to be in range of those slimes. I have no idea. It seems like we're hitting occasionally the core somehow. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It's working. Ah, that's bad. No way we die here, right? Oh! No! Okay, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. You know what I should have done? I should have, well, I should have just played better. Okay. That's bad. That's bad. Alright, well, we get a little bit more to this playthrough. That should have been the end. That should have been it, but we choked, and you know what? That's okay. Okay, I've got 2 sigils. You know what? This is, you know, all I wanted to do was showcase the, you know, the cheaper, cheaper recipe, and I believe now with the sigil... no, yeah, we got everything. I believe now with the sigil, the timer is like significantly reduced for spawning it in. So I think it'll spawn like right here. Yeah. So that's handy. Okay, let me try and focus here. I'm gonna try hard a little bit and see if we can get this done. Because that was not a good showing from before. It's going better. I probably shouldn't say that, but it is. We're doing a little better. I might stick to Daybreak. It's a little simpler. Less things to manage on my end, so probably easier to not mess up. Hopefully, that's the idea. It's pretty tricky with Daybreak because you gotta be precise with your aim here. I think we're doing it. It looks like we're getting damage in. Looks like we should have this. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's about to go down. Let's finish with... Oops, I tabbed out. Let's finish with the Terrablade. There we are. Moonlord defeated. Nice. Okay, yeah, that should have been like what happened on the first one, but... Well, we'll just pretend this was the first attempt, and then we'll be good. Nice. So that is Moonlord. Let's open up just for fun. Celebration Mark 2. Oh, we got 2 drops. I didn't even know that was possible. So I know people are going to ask. Let's see how many deaths we had. There's a new command. I think it's just deaths. 162. I'm going to be honest. I figured that would be way more. I figured that'd be a way higher number. So that's a lot, but considering my general playstyle of being super stubborn, and if I'm going to die, I'll just stick it out with the chance of maybe grinding a few more materials. I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, with that, I want to say thank you everyone for joining us on this journey, playing through Melee Master Mode. It's a really fun class now. I liked Melee before, but it definitely was not at all a candidate for my favorite. It definitely is now. I'd say my favorites between range and melee. I still love mage, of course. and Summoner's there at the bottom. But yeah, so I really do appreciate all of you that have tuned in and have been watching this playthrough. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Look out for some cool new things coming up, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.